I feel like it's been ages since I've made a soldier stash video. So today we're back and we're going to be covering the airstrike, which I'm actually super excited about, and I don't know why. This is a weapon that I keep wanting to try out and keep wanting to use, but it never really fits in with what I'm doing, so I'm glad I now have a chance to actually try it out and to use it. Really quickly before we get into this video, I just want to say a huge thanks for all of the support recently, especially on the live streams. It's been absolutely insane. I'm pushing to try and get Twitch partner, and recently, in fact, literally yesterday, we hit 275 Twitch subs, which is ridiculous. So if you've got nothing else to do and you want to see more content from me, please go down below and check out my Twitch channel. I stream every single time a new video goes out, so you can watch my video then jump into the stream, and also make sure you sub to my YouTube channel because I post a new video here every single day and I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So thank you. So, the airstrike is a primary weapon for the soldier, and it is described on the wiki as a green atom bomb shaped rocket launcher with a white checkered pattern near the front and tannish wooden handles. It fires a green and white missile with fins on the front and the back of the projectile. I personally think the airstrike looks really cool. Like, it's always been one of the better looking rocket launchers, at least in my opinion anyway. Comparing it to the Beggar's Bazooka from last episode, this weapon looks so much better. Might be because the Beggar's Bazooka is literally garbage or like strapped together, but regardless, this item looks really cool. You can get the airstrike in unique quality, strange quality, collector's quality, and decorated quality, so you can use all of your war paints on the airstrike if you wanted to. Unfortunately for you guys, I don't have a really cool war paint to actually use on the airstrike, so instead, you're just going to be seeing the regular one. The airstrike is quite an interesting weapon. So to start with, the rockets that you fire with this weapon have a 10% smaller explosion radius. So you need to make sure your shots are actually quite on target in order to be dealing any damage. You can't rely as heavily on splash damage as you might want to if you're used to using the rocket launcher, the original, or pretty much anything else. Also, the rockets deal 15% less damage than regular rockets, but the cool thing about that, and why it is a positive, is that it deals less damage to you while you're rocket jumping, which is quite cool. So you can actually jump around a little bit more and be taking less damage the whole time. And another feature of the airstrike, and pretty much the reason it has its name, is that the weapon fires its rockets far quicker when you're blast jumping. Apparently it's 65% faster, which is amazing, and you feel like a god just raining rockets down on anybody who dares be underneath you. I guess that sounds a bit weird. Dude, I had that completely for the first half, and then as soon as the rest of the sentence happened, it just went downhill. Also, whenever you get a kill with this weapon, the clip size of the airstrike increases for up to 8 rockets loaded into clip at one time from 4 kills, which really isn't that difficult to do, and you become very deadly once you've got 8 rockets loaded. The blast radius gets decreased again when blast jumping, but if you're above people and you're shooting a whole bunch of rockets, it's not ridiculously difficult to hit someone a couple of times, and the blast radius then is still not like too bad. Like, aiming down on somebody is way easier than trying to hit them with splash damage when you're on the same level as them, so I really don't see this as much of a downside at all. I barely noticed it while I was using the gun. Now let's talk about the damage of the airstrike. The base damage of this weapon is anywhere from 42 to 75 damage, which isn't too bad. Point blank, you'll be dealing 90 to 95 damage, which again isn't awful. And at long range, you'll be dealing 20 to 40 damage, which isn't as great. But how often are you going to be shooting long range rockets? I mean, I guess if you're like way above enemies as you're shooting down on them, but most of the time you're not. With a critical hit, you will be dealing 230 damage, which is really cool. You'll be able to kill pretty much every single class with that, except maybe a heavy or like really overhealed soldiers or whatever. And with mini crits, you'll be dealing anywhere from 103 to 129 damage. So overall, the airstrike damage isn't too bad. I think an important thing to mention about the airstrike is that these damage numbers don't really matter that much because most of the time you're going to be firing 4 or 5 rockets at an enemy. So regardless of how much damage you're doing, they're going to die. Unless you miss everything and then, you know, damage numbers become a bit more important. I like using the airstrike with either the base jumper or the gunboats. They both work, to be honest. You just have to play a tiny little bit differently while using either of those items. Obviously, using the base jumper, you do have more time in the air to fire off all of your rockets, but you're more of like a target while you're in the air because you're going to be moving so much slower. Whereas with the gunboats, you can jump around a lot more, you're much harder to hit, but you don't have as much time in the air to shoot off all of your rockets. Most of the time that doesn't matter all that much because you'll still have rockets to use when you land. But if you want to just rain down all of your rockets all at once, then a base jumper is probably the best way to go. I tried both and I really liked both. So I guess this is more down to like personal preference and what you want to be doing. But I'd recommend trying them both out and seeing which one you like the most. Obviously, you don't just have to use these two weapons together, but just they're what I would recommend and what I tried and had a lot of fun with. So, yeah, if you find that you like a shotgun with it more, use a shotgun. It doesn't really matter. I personally really like using this weapon. It's different, sometimes it acts a bit weird, but I honestly really enjoy using it. It forces me to rocket jump a lot more, which I've noticed is something I really don't do as much as I should do while playing Soldier. So having a reason to do that and getting rewarded for that teaches me to do it quite well. I found that most of my problems while using this gun were more to do with the fact that the base jumper got changed and I didn't realize that. So I was struggling with the base jumper more than I was struggling with the airstrike. But once I got that sorted out, dude, I had so much fun with this gun. It's just the feeling of raining down 8 rockets on somebody, getting a couple of kills. It's just amazing. It's one of the most satisfying things, I think, in TF2. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you leave the video a like and also make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new. I would really appreciate it. We're getting even closer to 90,000 subscribers and I'd love to see if we can hit 100k like next month or something crazy like that. So please, if you haven't clicked the button yet, please press it. Make sure you subscribe in if you haven't already. And dude, you're not going to want to miss it when we hit 100k. It's going to be big. I seriously appreciate all the love you guys have been showing me recently. It's been absolutely amazing. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye.